Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I want to thank everyone for coming out. It's exciting to see a good turnout. My name is Tim McDermott. I'm the secretary of the Glynn Dems. And if you got a postcard in the mail, that was because of me. I got it. We had folks fill out the cards. We sent out about 1,000 postcards. So we blanketed the island. This is actually, a District 2 meet and greet. We have a meet and greet for each district. But since this is the first meet and greet of the campaign season, anybody, would welcome to come. Okay. So first, I'm going to introduce our past chair, Julie Jordan, to say a few words.
I gotta hold both.
This is for them. Well.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it's good to see everybody, and it's. I know every time we have a meeting, people are like, "Oh, so I thought I was the only Democrat on the island." I think we probably all started there sometime. So I'm like, no, really, we have about 2,500. So anyway, welcome to newcomers, and it's good to see all the people who have been with us for a long time. It's really exciting. I had to break out my Biden-Harris shirt because it's that time again. And a lot of people don't realize just by putting a shirt on or getting a button for our candidates and wearing it around, it helps spread the message. And then everybody knows, that we're here. So we flipped last time. We flipped it in 20. We flipped it for the Senate races. So once again, we are a battleground state, and we have to win. So I know that you guys are all pumped up. As we get closer and closer, we're going to ramp up even more. And I'm just excited to see everybody. Excited to see the candidates that are running. Patti Hewitt for 1st Congressional District against Buddy Carter. We got Rebekah Moore, who's running House District 167. Just in case, too, we have the May primaries. We get to vote on nonpartisan races. John Barrow, remember John? He's a Democrat. He's running for state Supreme Court. So we need to make sure that we elect John Barrow. So pay attention to that. And then we have Laura Corona here is running as an independent for one of the county commissioner seats. Although we'd like her to have her running as a Democrat, she's better than a Republican by a long shot. So anyway, make sure you talk to her. So anyway, it's great to see you guys. I want to turn it over now because we have Olga McKenzie. Come on up, Olga. She's our new chair. She's been in there how long now? About 6 months? And you can see, you thought, now you're tired. No. But she is full. I got you, Olga. Anyway, we are so blessed to have her as our chair and our wonderful committee and all of our volunteers are doing anything. So I know that we're going to pump up and do what we got to do to win this year, but I just wanted to say a few words and introduce you to Olga. Let's give her a round of applause. There you go.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming out. Listen, there are Democrats, and we're everywhere. Everywhere. We're here. We're not the silent majority. Minority. No. Anyway, our office is located at 1919 Glen Avenue, Suite 7, right off the causeway, Winn-Dixie Plaza. Okay. We have a newsletter that's out. Our community meeting is April 22nd. Kendra Cotton from the New Georgia Project Action Fund will be there to tell us how to get the vote out. And we need to get the vote out, right? Yeah. No. We need to get the vote out, right? Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. I just wanted to say hello. Please come by. Please support. look us up on the web. We've got a YouTube channel. And we're just here. We're excited. We want to make that breakthrough in Glynn County, get the Republicans off our backs. Anyway, now it's me.
Thank you. This is Steve Holdsworth. Holdsworth. Oh my God. Sorry. Okay, let me step over this wire.
Oh. Good morning. My name is Steve Holdsworth, and I'm the treasurer of the Glynn County Democratic Party. So I want to welcome you here this morning. I just want to tell you very quickly, we are a county party. So what we do is organize and work within the county to really bring out the vote and to make a lot more action happen here within Glynn County. Those are our restrictions, and that's why we are a county party. So we are most concerned about what is happening here with the county commissioners, the school board, and those things that affect us right here in Glynn County. Now, of course, we are going to support candidates up and down the ticket, but our goal is to drive out the vote between you and all of your neighbors and this community to really drive the vote in the Democratic favor in the county so we can have more elected offices, and we can have more people giving us a voice to what we want to see in the future. So I want to tell you that we have an office that is the only office open on the east coast of Georgia, besides Savannah, which doesn't have a full-time office right now. So it is important to understand that we have made a commitment to have a community center and a place. It's right on the mainland across from the Ingalls at 1919 Glen Avenue. We have kept that office open for 5 years now. It is open 5 days a week now. We're hoping by the start of the summer we'll be open 7 days a week. But it is a resource for the community, and we want people to come in and be involved. All of you who got those mailers, all of those envelopes were addressed there in the office. Our meeting on the 22nd that she spoke about will be there. So we want people to know that we made a commitment to have a space where people can come, ask questions about how to vote, ask questions about how to get involved, ask questions about how to be part of this organization. And so that is a big commitment from this community. It takes a lot to do that. We have had annual fundraisers that have allowed us to do that. If you are not a member, I encourage you to become a member. It's $25. I have a QR code back there. I'd love to make you a member. Make sure you're on our mailing list so you can get that digital newsletter. And please just let us know how you'd like to get involved, because we want to grow and you are helping us grow. And we want you to know that we are here to do that for you and to help you. If there's something you'd like to do and participate in, we probably have somebody who's already doing it. You can split the work or the time. Those kind of things are happening all the time here. So it's really important to be involved. And if you just let us know by becoming a member that you want to be involved, and let us know personally, we've got a lot of committee members here, how you want to get involved, great. If you just want to donate a few dollars here and there, we love that too. But anyway, that's my speech. We are self-funded, and so our doors are open because people like you and this community who help keep us open and funded. And so it's just a very important part of our system and the way it works. And I want to thank you for being here this morning. Rich, are you going to speak briefly? Or am I going to? Who am I passing it to? Rebekah. Ah, good. So we have our first candidate here this morning, Miss Rebekah Moore. I'm going to let her introduce herself. But we are so excited to see her step up, and you're going to enjoy meeting her.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So I've introduced myself to quite a few of you in the room already, but I'll kind of give you the rundown of who I am and what I'm about. My name is Rebekah Moore. I'm 45. I've lived in Glynn County for almost 20 years, specifically in District 167, which is the district that I'm running in. My husband's family is from St. Simon's Island in Brunswick. As far back as they can see, Brunswick has been here. They've been here. So I kind of have an attachment to this place. I love it here. It's beautiful, and there's so much talent and so much hope and so much love. And I've found a lot of inspiration through meeting people just like you. So at 17, well, first let me start here. I grew up in a very rural community, similar to the district that I'm running for. To escape poverty, I joined the military at 17. I served honorably for 12 years. In 2004, I went to Iraq for the war and had an unfortunate run-in with an IED. So I am I have a brain injury, traumatic brain injury, and I do battle with PTSD. But thankfully, I have received very quality health care, and I'm able to be here right now in front of you because of that. That has motivated me to realize and understand that everyone deserves quality health care. Healthcare is a human right. There are hospital deserts in the counties which I will be serving, McIntosh County, Long County, and Wayne County. So there's no way for people to get the health care that they need. Breast cancer rates in this area are ridiculous. So there are many women in these areas who have no way to get to the care that they need to be taken care of. And I think that's a shame. I'm really big on infrastructure. We need public transportation. We need resources. We need community hospitals that aren't ran by corporations. And we need to listen to these people because they've been underserved for so long. So Mr. Deloach, the man that I'm running against, he has a bit of an issue with transparency. So that has motivated me to want to be very transparent about what I want to do, what you want to do, and what I have been doing. And I want to be a sounding board and carry messages for people, especially those underserved who have never been listened to before. Carry those messages to Atlanta where we can start enacting the process to get these issues taken care of. So after I got out of the military, I became a stay-at-home mom, and I stayed at home with my children. So I was able to interact with them at their schools and see the teachers and the staff at these schools and see how wonderful they are and what good jobs they've done. But I've also been witness to the deterioration of our school systems. They are underfunded, they are under-resourced, they need a lot. And the only way that we're going to get what they need is to start at a local level and put Democrats in seats who are going to give them what they need: the money, the resources, and the support. Gosh, I don't have my speech before me, so if I skip around, forgive me, please. So I really am big on autonomy. I'm sure everyone knows what autonomy is: the ability to make choices for yourself as a woman and as a member of the queer community. I have a very close loved one who is a trans person, and I have been watching these draconian bills being passed into laws, and I can't stand for it. I can't allow this to happen. Especially after my service in the military. It is a slap in my face that they deny my family, my friends, my community the care that is a human right. Everyone deserves to have care so they can live a happy and healthy life. So really, that's it. If anyone has any questions, can I field questions or no? No questions. It's fine with me. I look forward to meeting more of you. I have cards. Please put your name on the email address or the email. Give your name and email address to Olga, please. And if it's okay with y'all, I'll stick you on my mailing address, and we will have more volunteer opportunities. Also, forgive me, one more thing. I can't do what I'm doing right now or what we are about to do after primaries, launch a campaign, without money. So if you can donate to the campaign, I would be very, very appreciative. I will keep you guys updated as to what my goals are, what we've accomplished, and where we want to go in the future. So I thank you for your time, and I hope that everybody has a great day.
Our next speaker is Patti Hewitt, candidate for Congressional District Number 1.
That didn't work.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. Mic drop. All right, let's see. Back here. And right here. Okay. On a trip. Hi, everybody. Good morning. What's more American than donuts and coffee? The only thing you guys are missing is bacon. You should have bacon here because that would be the trifecta of America. This is how people see us from outside the country. What's wrong with you people? All you do is eat and drink great things and shop. Yes, that is exactly what we do. Hey, it's great to be here today and to see so many familiar faces. I was just here the other day, so it's really fun to be back, and thank you very much. You know, you all are here because I'm assuming everyone here is a Democrat. Maybe that's not true. In fact, I hope that's not true. I hope there are some people here who are Republicans or who are independents, because I think the real reason you're here is because of democracy. The reason you're here is because these days in our country, I believe the only thing that's standing between us and anarchy are our Democrats. So thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. But so what is it really? Let's think about what it is to be a democracy and how we can find common space with our neighbors. You know, I live in Bryan County. I'm the chair of the Bryan County Democratic Committee, by the way. So I totally hear what Olga has to say about keeping things going here in these county committees. Bryan County is also a Republican majority county. And I also struggle with the idea that there are many Democrats in Bryan County who don't feel comfortable coming out. Now, there's a reason for that, because some of them genuinely feel threatened. I have talked to people around this district, especially in rural counties, in the more rural Charlton, Bacon, counties like that, where Democrats are genuinely afraid to come out. And I say to that, no, we should never be afraid. We should encourage and support and create safe places for us to gather, for us to discuss the issues. That's what a democracy is. Our democracy is great, and it's ugly, and it's complicated all at once. But is it worth preserving? Yes. And let me tell you a story about that. So during World War II, my father, who grew up in Little Italy, my maiden name is Teneriello. My father's name is Sabato Teneriello. And he went to join the military, to join up and fight for his country. And they said, no, you have serious back issues. We can't put you into combat. He went to another branch of the military because this was my dad. I'm going to try over here. No, you can't. Finally, he went, and in 1941, he had back surgery, which was no joke in those days, right? A lot of our surgeries today are no big deal. Even open heart surgery, 5 days, you're in and out, right? But in those days, that was serious. And he finished his recuperation, and he joined the Navy, and he served his country proudly. And I am so proud of him that he did that. And he never talked about it. I heard this story from other family members, not from him, because there are so many quiet patriots in this country. Many of you may be quiet patriots, where you are doing what you can. You're participating in these forums. You're helping people get the vote out. But I want to encourage you and motivate you to stand up and be just a little louder about how important it is for us to preserve our democratic form of government. That is what this particular race is really all about. I will not sit back and allow fascists, misogynists, racist, hate to take over our country. Why would we do that? There is much common ground for us on the issues. And remember, as Democrats, what we stand for: common sense gun laws, human rights. Are we not all human beings, right? Why should we not all have the same rights? Equality and equanimity. So our country, in my opinion, has become imbalanced. Rebekah indicated this in some of her comments, in large corporations owning these hospitals. So when a large private corporation owns anything, what is their main goal? Profits. That's exactly right. Thank you for letting me call on you. Profits, right? Not people, profits. And profits to the shareholders to make sure that they're shareholders. We are shareholders in our country. The reason that I am running is literally to put you back in the House. Our House of Representatives is in chaos and disarray because the Republicans have zero interest in policy making. What they are interested in doing is fomenting dissent, is keeping us apart, arguing with one another, hating one another, not working with one another for one reason, and that is to retain power. To retain power, because they believe that they have the moral authority over us. And I say to that, my friends, no. No, hell no. Hell no. I support censorship in the home. Parents have the right to raise their children in the way that they see fit. If they do not want their children to read certain books or be exposed to things, that is their right. I would support that right 100%. Public libraries? No. Public schools? No. Anything that is open to the public must be open freely. We cannot codify ignorance. We cannot codify ignorance. You know, we live in an area that has some of the most important history of the African American community in our country. And we are trying to suppress and get rid of that history. Is that history ugly? Oh, yes. Is it shameful? Oh, yes, indeed it is. But it is part of our American story, and for that, we must embrace it and nurture it and make sure that we are educating our children on the entire American experience and what it is to be American. We often hear of this country, this America, as the great democratic experiment, and we are still in process. For those of you that have been fighting the good fight for as many years as I have, yes, we do get weary. And as women, yes, we do get weary of being oppressed. But all that has done for me is galvanized me into this race, galvanized me into this race. So I ask you to stand up, support your local candidates in particular. You have two of them here today. They couldn't be more right. Tim couldn't be more right about talking about how important these local candidates really are, because that's where the rubber hits the road. What I want to do when I get to Congress is work with those local candidates to solve these problems, because these are problems that are being neglected and have been neglected for 30 years in this district. And it is time that Democrats get put back into office and start going to work for the people. So thank you very much for allowing me to be here today. Can I ask for questions? Okay, questions, comments? Yes, ma'am.
One of the problems, as a comment, is that we've gotten personality oriented in our politics, and we fail to take the money out. And the press.
Well, thank you so much. And you know, I think you really bring out a very important point for us to remind ourselves of, and that's how difficult it is for us to determine what is good information and what is not good information, where we should get our news from and who we should listen to. And it takes some effort these days. It really does take some effort to find those ethical journalists and the ethical news outlets. And I would say that I believe that there are still plenty of those in this country, but they are not as obvious as they used to be. And much of our media has turned themselves over to advertisers. It's not the media, it's the advertisers that have taken over, right? Because there is so much money. So repealing Citizens United, I would agree with that 150%, to repeal that. Because money is corruption. Money corrupts. It just does, because people are greedy and they want as much money. And as long as we continue and think about what the Republicans are continuing to talk about, which is they want to continue to dismantle our regulatory agencies, dismantle the independent agencies that operate as part of the government so that they can have control. These are the things that we must fight vigorously against. We must fight vigorously to support the regulations that we already have in place and to shore up ones that have become too soft or ineffective. So that I agree with you on. Of course.
I don't or because the monopolists are controlling the politicians.
Well, monopolists aren't controlling me, and monopolists aren't controlling our other local, and so that's what we can, I hear you. Yes, ma'am.
I think the Democratic National Committee should be putting more money into grassroots people like you to get the House back and get rid of the Marjorie Taylor Greens.
Yes.
That's what I think.
I completely agree with that. And I want to send that message right now into the ether to the Democratic National Committee and tell them to please come support us.
Every time I get, these donation forms for the Democratic National Committee, I always write that, never heard anything. But that's where we should be putting our money. People like you to get the House and the Senate and let us get some help for Ukraine.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
disgusting and depressing
Yes.
to see people like in the House that are fighting and never getting anything done because they're so selfish and they want power so much that they don't care about governing.
Right.
All they care about is it's like first grade up there.
They've forgotten about their oath. They've forgotten about their oath. Or they've decided that their version of the Constitution somehow is right, as if there were all these multiple versions of our controversy and our Bill of Rights. So yes, I couldn't agree with you more. Please send that message to the DNC frequently. Frequently. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Where do you stand on progress as far as, helping our climate and putting into action some things that will really make a difference, I guess is what I'm interested in. I'm concerned for my grandkids. My grandkids are here in Georgia.
Yes.
And, things are only going to
First of all, I couldn't agree with you more. I actually live with my grandchildren. I live in a multi-generational household with my daughter and my 4 grandchildren. Actually, some people tell me the reason I'm running is to get out of the house more. So there's probably some truth to that. I think one of the biggest things that we can do is to really put some teeth into our regulations to begin to reduce our reliance on fossil fuels and to disallow fossil fuel companies to have the influence that they have in our government. That we should begin to pull back on the rebates, the tax rebates, and other entitlements we offer gas companies, and to begin making life much more difficult for them. I think because, let's face it, that is one of the biggest drivers of the problem that we have. Now, right now, we can hear the Republicans railing against electric vehicles, railing against electric. No, we should be leaning into that. We should be leaning in to eliminating gasoline-powered vehicles and gasoline-powered equipment in our country, because that is the #1 contributor to climate change, is that. But I think there are other things. We need to protect the Okefenokee Swamp. And we need to make sure that the Okefenokee Swamp is ring-fenced with green space so that it cannot be mined. It cannot be smirched. It cannot be dirtied. We need to preserve that. That's the largest wetland area of its kind in our country. We need to protect our whale population that is migrating off of our coast And it's okay if you're a fisherman, I respect that. Please go fish and enjoy your fishing. That's okay. But you're going to have to slow down when you're in those areas. So, don't listen to the nonsense that the Republicans talk about with regards to these laws. The law that Buddy Carter is fighting so hard against with NOAA allows for exceptions that he talks about. I have a saying that I use all the time, and it's this: talking ain't doing. Talking ain't doing. And I really believe that. I've been that way my whole life. I have a real problem with hypocrisy. So when I say something, my friends, you can take it to the bank because I'm going to do it. And if I'm not going to do it, I won't say it. So I think those are just some of the things that we need to be doing with regards to climate change. I want to make sure that this country and our climate, and the other piece I think we have to remember is climate is not American. Climate is our earth. And I think we have to remember that. We have to participate and encourage and motivate and maybe nudge other countries to do the same thing. We must be on the same page globally to affect this, because we're talking about controlling what's happening in this country, but it's not like Herschel Walker talked about the air like floats around places. It is, right? It is global. So I think that's another aspect of this, that we in America have always shown leadership. We have always been leaders when it comes to human rights, when it comes to protecting our environment. Why would we let any of that go? We need to continue to be leaders. The world looks to us for that leadership. And so that would be my answer to that question. I hope I've answered your question. Good, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
In order to have change, we need you.
Thank you.
We need you and all other congressmen that are in the same boat as you, running against these Republican misstatements. How are you prepping yourself to change Republicans' minds to your point of view? Do you have a debate set up with Buddy Carter to put him on the front of everybody's mind as to what his thoughts are? As ridiculous compared to common sense. I mean, I just, that's my question. What's your plan of attack?
Okay. First of all, we do not have a debate scheduled. We have had some organizations approach us very interested in putting on a debate. Personally, I would prefer a town hall because I think it's very important to hear questions from people like you, not questions from a moderator, which I'm fine to participate in. As we know, Buddy Carter stopped doing town halls some time ago because he wasn't happy with the questions and comments that he got. So much for transparency. There is nothing on the schedule. I am 100% open to it. I would like to do that. I do engage, as again, I live in a Republican county, and I think where we meet people is in the issues. And I think once you get down to issues, you will find that there is more common ground than we think of. I began writing a column in our local Bryan County News called The Breakup. And the idea behind that column was that we have essentially broken up with ourselves in this country. We've gone through a divorce and we're grieving the loss of our community. I want to bring that community back together. And we have to do it in places where we have shared values. And I think that there are many Republicans that do continue to have those shared values. And so I think that's where we have to meet them. I think when we talk about common sense, I think if you talk to most gun owners, responsible gun owners, they don't have a problem with common sense gun laws. Why should we have a problem? Why should we want military grade weapons on our streets? Why should we want that? There is no reason for it. So I think these are some of the conversations that we need to have. So if you all want to lobby Buddy Carter to come on up and talk with me and debate with me and talk about the issues, I'd love to do it in a forum like this. I'm 100% open for it. But honestly, there isn't anything in the works right at the moment. I would look for that probably after the primary, if at all, because it'll really depend on him. I'm ready for it. Did that answer your question, ma'am? Good. Oh. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to piggyback on what I was asking, going to ask you about a debate. But I was lucky enough to have a very small, intimate conversation with Buddy Carter. And my question was, he talked about safety in the schools and the banning of the books. And I asked him, wouldn't it be safer in this world if we could ban the AR-15 so that these mass shootings wouldn't happen? And he practically ran off the stage.
What he does. That's exactly what he does.
He did not answer the question. I caught him in the back of the room. I shook his hand and I said, please think about banning that AR-15 and not books. So
I like that. Can I steal that?
yes, you can.
But it's not just the AR-15. It's also making sure that there are background checks at gun shows, which our president is trying to put into place right now. It's also banning bump stocks. It's also banning any high-capacity weapons. Anything that is military grade should be banned and taken off of our streets. And that just makes sense to us, right? So thank you. Thank you for being a lobbyist. You are a lobbyist. Yes, in the back of the room.
Do you have a position on what Congress could do or should do regarding the conflict in Gaza? And a follow-up, would you support further funding for Ukraine?
Well, first of all, yes, I 100% support further funding for Ukraine. I think we need to stand with Ukraine strongly and stand with Ukraine proudly. And I think we need to ensure that we continue to push back on Putin until he is finally gone. We cannot allow him to build his empire back in Eastern Europe. So I think that, to me, that's unequivocal. I support full funding for Ukraine. I think the situation in Gaza has gotten out of control, and I think the government continues to need to put extreme pressure on Israel to pull out of Gaza, to open up more avenues for humanitarian aid to come in, and to begin to get serious about peace talks. We are on the edge of that really igniting in that area, and it's up to Israel to pull back. So I support our administration's hard messages and getting harder messages to Israel to pull back from Gaza and to allow humanitarian aid in. I think as bulwarks of humanitarian aid around the country, there is no other position the United States should be taking at this time. Did that answer your question? All right.
One more?
Oh, right here. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to piggyback on what you all were saying about the town hall. You know, I read the newspaper and I see people come and the Dems talk to the Dems and the Republicans talk to the Republican Women's Party and nobody talks to each other. So I would encourage you to invite Buddy to a town hall, a bipartisan town hall.
Oh, I will. You know, as you can tell, you know, I'm not a shy person. I'm not afraid to stand up for what I believe in. That's why I'm running, because I stand up for my democracy and my country. So yes, I will continue to ask, and I ask all of you to be lobbyists as well. If you have an opportunity to be one-on-one or to be in a setting with Buddy Carter, tell him, you have an opponent. We want to hear from the two of you. We want to contrast and compare. He has a real opponent. So come on, let's bring it. Let's do it. I'm ready.
Every morning.
Yes, yes.
I get his little email,
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yes. It is difficult. It's difficult. Yes,
I
ma'am.
hope that you're the first person that can break through the good old boy syndrome.
You know, I want to make, first of all, thank you. Thank you very much. I intend to win, as everybody knows, and you all hear me say this all the time, but I didn't get in this race to lose. I didn't get in this race just to put a Democrat in the race. No. I want to win. But the point is, it's not for me that I want to win. I've had a successful professional career. I mean, my life is like not too bad, right? I'm here to put you in that seat. It's your seat. This is your seat and your seat and your seat and your seat. It's not my seat or his seat. These are not annuities that just roll over every year. Put him through his paces, make him defend why he should keep the seat, and if he doesn't, vote him out. That's the American way, but it's your seat. You're going to be sitting in that seat. I'm just representing you. That's it. For real. Okay? Oh.
I just have one quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
When I go to the polls to vote, I see a lot of unopposed candidates on there, and I think the Democratic Party needs to do more about making sure they have candidates for every position. Because it shocks me how few are either or. So many are unopposed.
Okay, I can speak to that. Actually, Rich, who is our first vice chair, who's not here at the moment, it was his job not his job, it was his role to try to encourage people to run for office. It is very difficult to get people to run for office around here.
Yes, it is.
As a Democrat, okay, a lot of people do business and they don't want to lose their business. It is important. Contest every race is the most important thing that there is. It's just very difficult.
Yes.
We have nobody running for District 2 County Commissioner. I don't know. There are going to be a lot of open slots on the Democratic side. One of the things, if you know someone who's interested, they should speak to us. I mean, it's too late for this run, but it's important that we try to find candidates. It's not just, it's just important. I mean, and there's nothing, we can't force people to run. We can encourage them to run, but it's just a difficult thing.
Yeah, and
I found is when I've gone to your office in Brunswick,
Yes.
I can never find anyone there.
Well, we have hours posted on the website. We have hours posted on the door. Well, again, volunteers. We are open with volunteers. I am there 4 hours every Tuesday. We have some.
So Wednesday and Saturday was last year, 23. Now we're open 5 days a week. So we have changed our hours.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, how do you relate to the Brunswick News? Because they don't publish anything important.
We have folks who are getting involved with sending the Brunswick News information. We'll send them a picture from this. We'll send them a picture from our. Again, we don't get front page news like the Republican Women's Luncheon, but we just have to keep plugging away, donating to people like Patti. The hours are, if you Google us, the hours are there. Okay, if you go to the door, the hours are on the door. Okay, if you are on our mailing list, okay, you would get that information. If you're not on our mailing list, sign up, go to glyndems.org, join us, okay, and you'll get all the information that you need. Okay? And you can volunteer to man the office. If you want to make sure there's somebody there, you can be there. Okay? So it's important,
Is it?
Go ahead.
I would like to introduce a glimmer of hope into the discourse. My wife Glenna and I have 2 lovely grandchildren. Of course, every grandchild is lovely, but here in St. Simon's. And one of them, whose name is June, she's 12 now. When she was 11 years old, she entered into a statewide contest to write an essay. And she chose the environment, she chose recycle, and she was elected to the position of kid lieutenant governor.
Chair of a committee too, so I totally get it.
As I recall,
I get these.
when I said to her, "Are you a Democrat?" She said, "What else is there?"
I don't have any yet.
And I basically replied nothing much at all. But anyway, we enjoyed being here. So I may speak here today, and thank you for the non-calorie donuts.
And one final thing, we're here for another hour. You can stay as long as you want. We would like to get your feedback. You can send me an email at secretary glyndems.org. I'd like to hear, did you like it? Is there a better place on St. Simon's you'd like to get together? Should we do it again? This is the first time on St. Simon's since I've been here that we've had an event on the island. So I think if the word gets out, hopefully Russ took some pictures. We'll get them on the website. We'll get them out on Facebook. So if we have another one, we'll have more folks show up so that we can all see how many other people there are around. All right? And Russ?
Write letters to President. Do sometimes. If you notice, there's only a few people. But had some good comments today. Please put them.
And we do have on the wall in the office, if you want to stop by, we have all the letters to the editor that they've printed on our behalf there. So if you don't get the paper, you can come and read the letters to the editor there. All right? Right. So our office manager, Jan Yoder, who is out of state at the moment, but she runs a little group, a letter writing group. I think she met Senator Hodges I think it was Senator Hodges, at the Wake Up Coffee when they were doing the American Library Association thing. So, we do have people that are involved, letter writing. Somebody had to hand write each one of those postcards. So we will have more postcards being sent out. Anybody wants to volunteer anytime, you are, of course, welcome. All right? Thank you.